Hey, how's that for a nice add-on package to The Sims? The Simps. Just put in all the white algorithms into the characters and see what they do.
God damn, Maji, what is going on with your mic?
Your computer sounds like it has indigestion.
Why does it sound like a swarm of bees is fucking the mic?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
That's getting
Are you
worse.
talking out of a garbage can?
Quick, was Samuel L. Jackson
Well,
at the desk when you checked into that hotel?
But what's weird is at the beginning of the night when she first popped on, the microphone was working just fine. Just a slight bit of echo here and there, but nothing bad. It kind of like morphed as it went on, bit by
Yeah,
bit.
Maji, do you sometimes go under the name John Cusack? I got the reference, Rita. I was adding on for you. I bet you none of y'all understood that, but okay.
Nope, but we'll understand this. Jose Hernandez says B orgy.
Nicolas Cage loves those. No,
Not the
wait,
bees, not the bees.
Evidently, Renfield was really dog shit. Like the only way you would watch that movie is Nicolas Cage.
Which one?
Renfield, where he's playing Dracula, and it's supposed to be a toxic relationship between Dracula and his butt boy.
Seriously?
At first, I thought you were going to mention Vampire's Kiss, which is also a very similar premise.
How do you know that?
It's a movie, dude.
I just know Renfield because I saw the trailer. What the fuck?
Vampire's Kiss is like one of those movies where it's so bad, everyone knows about it. Somehow
Love
you
at
get
First
Nicolas
Bite?
Cage citing off the alphabet in like the worst way possible, but it's also you can't look away.
C, D, E, F, G, H,
Oh,
I,
I know.
J,
I know.
K,
Movie.
L, M, N,
It's
O,
the movie
P,
where he thinks he's
Q,
been
R,
turned
S,
into a
T, U,
vampire,
V, W,
Yes.
X, Y, and Z.
and he
I've
fucking
never misspelled anything. Not once, not one time.
he stabs himself in the fucking chest with a stake at the.
Because, frankly, I'm a vampire.
Jose Hernandez
Okay, now-
asks, Twilight or Harry Potter, which is better? Well,
Harry
I
Potter.
can easily say
Yeah,
I
Harry
enjoyed
Potter.
Harry Potter. I was bored by Twilight. I watched the first two movies, and it seemed like it was still just build up waiting for the actual movie to start. I just kind of checked that.
Have you ever seen the fucking book? I've only ever read one fucking thing, and it was from one of the prologues, and it
From-
was just
from
nothing
which
but her
series?
talking. It was nothing but her talking about eating her fucking like ravioli.
Oh, brother.
Would
Her
are you
father
talking about Twilight?
Yeah, it was the most boring fucking thing I've ever read in my life.
Okay.
Was that
I
prologue.
never read any of the books. I did read the Harry Potter books. I saw the Harry Potter movies. I saw two of the Twilight movies, lost track, or not track, interest. It was just like, this is so slow. It's like, they got a good premise here, but they're just doing teen drama crap. When are they going to, when are explosions going to happen, you know?
I think
I have a
King Bob
cooler
got
idea
upset.
for those movies, those books, but it eventually just turns into Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah. That's one thing I can't quite understand with Sonnet. She now I haven't read the books, so I really can't know for sure without reading them. But she loved
awful.
the books.
They're off.
She
And
doesn't
then-
care. She just enjoyed them.
And then
She loved them.
it set off so many copycats. So many. Everybody was trying to replicate it, replicating mediocrity.
I always thought it
Uh,
was
Then
like
comes
fan
the
fiction.
BDSM fan fiction for Twilight.
If you want vampires, The Lost Boys is where it's at.
Yeah,
It's
I thought-
amazing how we go from Twilight to 50 Shades of Grey, which is just started out as Twilight fan fiction, to Gilbert Gottfried reading off 50 Shades of Grey prose. So we go from 0 to 11.
That may be the greatest thing, but
Yeah, I always thought Twilight was just fan fiction.
Yeah, I mean, the books might be better. I don't know. I honestly, I think Sana said not really. I just liked them anyway, but I'm not remembering for certain. But yeah, she was a sucker for those books, and
But I
I
think
don't know. Sometimes she just doesn't have good taste.
I thought there was some good vampire things in the '90s. I think there's one TV series where he was I think he was a police investigator.
Forever Night.
Yes, Forever Night, and he worked the night shift. That was pretty good. Well,
Yeah.
decent.
Well, the one that takes it for all the vampires during the '90s, though, I'd have to say is probably Buffy,
Yeah, for sure.
which I really did like that series. Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. I would hate for them to try and remake that too. You see what they
Yeah.
did to Charmed? That was horrible.
Buffy the Vampire Slayers, the spinoff was kind of okay for a bit.
Angel?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was decent. Wasn't as good as Buffy, the original Buffy series, but it was still up there. It was still watchable. It was fun.
yeah. One of the things that was fun with that was all the different weird characters and stuff.
Well, that's one thing Joss Whedon is like a master at, taking an ensemble cast and making all the characters so complex and still interact and still feel true to them. That's a lot to balance, especially. I mean, we sit here and we write, but for a TV series, I mean, they gotta crank this out like how fast. I'm actually amazed when I look at some of the old shows how good they are, and I look at now and it's like, oh, this is bad. But the speed at which they got to crank out stories, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, well, I think a good portion of Buffy was at least somewhat planned out initially, and then after a couple of years, it kind of ended up going off to different people writing different portions of it.
Yeah. Now for the Lost Boys, they did a sequel to that, and it was just kind of meh. Then they made a third, and I thought it never went very far. I don't think, but I thought it was awesome. The third movie, I just like to pretend the second doesn't exist.
Uh-huh. I know the Lost Boys, it's probably given away in the title, but it was supposed to be a much more on-the-nose, darker version of Peter Pan.
You know, I never put the two together. It should have been obvious, but I never thought of it.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. That's a really good 2 and 2 equals 4.
Yeah, I watched a retrospective on YouTube a long time ago on it.
It got a
Yeah.
phenomenal soundtrack.
Jose
did.
Hernandez said they're going to remake Buffy into a black Latina lesbian. Just watch. You know what? If they just don't
Go for it.
if they just don't name it Buffy, I might watch because that sounds kind of hot.
That's the only reason that they'd make it, is to name it Buffy.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah,
have
but-
to be Buffy. It's got to be named Buffy.
A black Latina lesbian as the main character. If she's hot, we'll all watch it anyway.
We've had that before. We have hot chicks up the screen. It's all about the writing, man. It's all about the writing.
Why not both?